Hello, friends, fam, betrayed, addicts, strugglers, those lost still trying to find their way, artists, lovers, dreamers, to FMS Studio, where we finally navigate through, whatever creative process we need to in order to give the world what we have to offer through our respective creative energy. Welcome. So today I'm going to start talking about the plans that I have for creating the story that I want to tell through graphic novel form that will hopefully spawn movies, theme parks, and merchandise, most importantly, fan fiction and entire subcultures with animations based on that fan fiction and Reddit posts and all that stuff. Today, an unqualified writer will talk to you about my process for inspiration and story creation. So let's learn together. I'll go over all my initial process with coming up with the idea for the story, and also work on a supporting character, on designing a supporting character initially, and then so let's do it. So first off, I wanted to go over just a couple of strategies that I did when I first wanted to start writing a comic. I did have a previous comic before that I really loved, but had to, give up working on that as a comic. But so I started coming up with ideas for a new comic, and it is really hard. I'm not a writer, so I started just thinking about what do I want. That was a long time ago. Anyway, so what I first did when I wanted to start writing was come up with a theme, an idea. What is this type of story that I want to tell? And so I started working on that by talking about what do I like? What are my favorite things comprised of? And so I started off with a list. So making lists, I think, might be a good starting point. And I don't know why I'm doing this, because I'm not gonna have multiple bullet points. And if I do, then that'd be great. Genre. What genres do I like? What if I were to make a story? If I were to have one chance to create a story, what are the genres that I would want to do? So first, on my list I have post-apocalyptic, fantasy, dark fantasy, something like Dark Souls or Berserk, and then Chrono Trigger type fantasy. And with that, I just really like the setting, just archipelagos and water and time travel and parallel universes, just kind of that same feel. So those were this initial list, what I had written. And then, I put what I like in stories, things like rivalries, one-on-one rivalries, groups of friends, of course, a vulnerable protagonist, and then, a great villain. The themes that I wanted to tackle: loving oneself, empathy, addiction, trauma, friendship, and just being able to overcome all odds through friendship and never giving up on doing what's good. So yeah, that's my beginning phase for what I started looking into when I started wanting to write my story. And later on in another video, I can start talking about what I want the story to look like. I don't want to give too much away, of course, because I want people to be able to read it instead. So it's going to be interesting trying to figure out how to balance that. But today, I also wanted to help you go through with me what I have done to create a supporting character. And this might seem all out of context, because I do have two main characters, and now I'm kind of building up the supporting characters. But and the world's already a little bit built. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So yeah, we're making a supporting character. This character is going to serve to be part of the friend group of our main two characters, who are going to be rivals. They are Odessa and Oscar. They are the Oz twins. And I hesitate sometimes to even get this going because Odessa Sinclair and Oscar Sebastian, who are the Oz twins, are really important to me. They were supposed to be ours, our children. But alas, they didn't make it. And so I don't know, I've always wondered who they were. And so here I started, I said that they were orphans, and they were adopted by merchants, and that their parents' death were a mystery. And so I'm just kind of draw almost kind of like an opposite effect of how I know Oz. And and so I have it tied to the main story and mysterious purposes and whatnot. But Odessa and Oscar, they attend a school. The school consists of military academy, but also scholarly and magic academy. Odessa is on the military side. Oscar is on the scholar side, and so just start trying to come up with their archetype and how they can be a supporting character through here. And then I just make a couple more lists on likes, dislikes, and then strengths and weaknesses, because I think it's going to be really important to be able to help that character grow by pushing on those strengths and pushing on those weaknesses. So I thought I'd make a little inventory here so that they can so I can refer to it when I want some character growth. Here we are working on just general ideas for what I'm thinking for Odessa. I'm thinking military, thinking tomboyish, still want her to be cute. She's still a student, she's still a little young. Kind of working on twin bro here. Did a quick thought of it. I kind of want him to be almost more angsty teen than Odessa. But yeah, just working on a few ideas here, thinking about clothes. Do we have a school uniform? Or we have a military uniform, a magic uniform, then just kind of casual clothes, and then also hair to match, the different style here, or the different, type of clothing. Of course, here's some armor. I started settling in on this sort of hairstyle for Odessa. And you can see as I, try to take it to different places. Not really, but more just like different clothing. So I start experimenting with different clothing. But yeah, I'm always, I'm trying to capture character, and emotion, of course, trying to see what that same thing looks like and what she will look like, in a different, with her different clothing. Then, just start experimenting, having fun here with kind of trying to solidify the face and what I'm thinking of. It's at this point where I start thinking about, silhouettes and what I want the silhouette to look like. At this point when I'm drawing it, I'm thinking, yes, I should definitely do like a quick silhouette. But I'm still thinking kind of like more the emotion character behind the face. And I want to have buy-in into this character. So I just keep reiterating on it. Here is... trying to do a quick size up chart. Gen is our main protagonist. Sorry, not Gen. Gen is one of the two main protagonists. There's Gen and Rad. This is Rad. Just kind of doing a little size comparison to the two. So I have Odessa and Oz next, and just kind of doing quickly, just roughing in some sizes. Gen. Sorry, not Gen, but Oz, where I was kind of thinking more like a Tetsuya Nomura, like Kingdom Hearts type, like big big jean shorts type thing when I first started working on him. But yeah, here just now trying to see if what I can do to kind of keep their aesthetic similar, or have them look similar, because they're siblings. Of course, we're not going to have Oz look quite as dead as he looks here. Looks like a Thriller right now, but start trying to work that out here. Trying to give him a cool, like, poofy head of hair. I'm thinking Octavius as well as I go through this. But yeah, so Oz, he is part of the scholar side of the school. So he's kind of more on the magic track, even though magic doesn't exist in this world, or it's disappeared from the world. So that is definitely something that we are thinking about here. Here I try to capture some of his kind of angst. I want him to be kind of like a firecracker, gets into fights, but of course he's that guy who's struggling with, the mystery of who he is, where he's from, where does he belong. Same as Odessa, but they both do it in different ways. And at this point, we'll start thinking about setting. I already have an idea of how I want the setting to look. I do want there to be very fantasy type aspects to the environment, to the lore. But then I also am moving towards a little bit more modernism as well, and that is shown through the clothing and through some architecture and other technology in the world. I particularly enjoyed this, kind of drawing different angles, different perspectives of Oscar here. Trying out his more street clothes versus school clothes. I think we'll definitely get to the point where we're doing more, scholarly clothing. It's kind of more what that top one is. Here I am, I switched brushes. When I'm wanting to do an over, like a new layer where I do some cleaner line on top, try to keep a brush that feels as close to a mechanical pencil as I can. And I work with texture. I definitely want a textured brush. Keep it small, pressure sensitive for size and for opacity. Though now that I think about it, a mechanical pencil definitely it's more opacity than it is size, so I think more angle is what will affect a mechanical pencil's thickness. So that's something to think about as I look over this. Just trying to do another quick one pass over on these characters, just to get a little bit more clean finish on these. But really, in the end, we're just exploring here. At this point is where I try to do more kind of full body work for Odessa. Start to, a little bit finalize more of her different clothing for the different situations like she can be in. As you can see, I'm like, what's my reference? What does Odessa look like again? I think eventually, through here, I start to experiment with the change of her look as well. So give her a big happy smile and continue working until I get more of a less over extra smile. Here we're, putting our line for the different markers on the body to try to line her up. This is more of her hair up and armored clothing. I do like a lot of clothing ideas from, I used to just draw armor. Two big influences on armor for me are Warcraft and Record of Lodoss War. Record of Lodoss War would usually have like huge collars, and then chest pieces would just go out super far, past the body. I don't know how that worked for weight on the characters, but yeah, here when I'm trying to do some clean line, I end up giving Odessa kind of a different look, and I start feeling it. So I start kind of just making changes to that, start trying to figure that out, and just working this clean line in. I find it fun to try to make armor that, like in those legs, that almost resemble you kind of just like tissue or muscle tissue that repeats over the body. But then again, just here's some more kind of like a formal military attire versus armor. More dress boots. And then of course like a pistol, and she has a pistol in both. I want to say that the sword is more of an inheritance, what was left behind. So yeah, as we finish up here, I try to kind of like change the look, keep it similar. When on the armored Odessa, she's kind of looking down, and then her eyes are pointed up. So there's kind of that angle that creates that effect that I was trying to make, but then it almost changed her look. So that's more on me, just trying to figure that out and get a more consistent look for her. Here's a casual look that I'm trying to get for her. Then I think I'm starting to introduce, introducing a musical instrument here. And, for me, this is a trombone. My daughter plays trombone, so I figured, I'd get some good reference that way. But also, I still wanted to have that, those same personal connections. But yeah, just working on a musical instrument, which would make sense for kind of a military type place, whether there's marching bands, but also, just like regular school symphony band, that sort of thing. Start giving her a hat, make it look more casual. Then, just putting in some sort of finishing, obviously not finished, but more just kind of clarifying some of the things here. Then I just put in, want to, for more of a finished, slightly finished look, put a tone in the back and start just identifying light and dark. If you think of the sun coming down on you for your light source, then that's why I always kind of just put a mid-tone that kind of darken up towards the bottom. Of course, these are a little extra dark. I tried to do some sort of faded clothing effect on her on her big shirt, her oversized shirt here, and then yeah. So that is, a little bit of my process for creating this character. I'll work on Oscar as well, but wanted to give you like almost a live reaction to kind of what I was doing at that time, trying to figure out how to make this character. She is almost showing up in what I have written for the story. So excited to kind of get her going, writing some lines for her. I hope you enjoyed this video. And hope you learned something here. Leave in the comments any tips you have for writing characters, supporting characters, main characters. I'm here for it. But yeah, everyone take it easy. Peace out.